Goeiemôre. Very good morning. Molweni, South Africa. Namaste. Salam. And shalom to everybody. Hoop julle is almal hierso. Ek is 'n bietjie vroeg, want ek wil net seker maak dat ons daarom stiptelik om 12 uur almal by 10 uur almal by mekaar het. It's a Friday, so excuse me. So many things happening, so many things to share. Good morning to everybody. Edward Dolly, good morning. Edward Dolly, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Johan van der Merwe, goeiemôre. Baie interessante goed vandag. Cheryl, good morning. Goeiemôre. Johan Barnard, baie goed om jou te sien. Goeiemôre. Marius hierso. Janola, my Griekse boertjie. Altyd hierso, altyd daar. Anne-Marie, goeiemôre. Ek groet maar soos ek wil, né? Mense sê altyd, hoekom groet jy almal? Want ek kan. Dis maniere. And it's my time. It's your time. So I will greet whoever I want to. Aziza, salam alaikum. Lana, Sean is hierso. God bless you, Sean. Thank you, Carol. And we are quickly moving up to 109, so we'll start at 200. As always, Shahida, good morning. Ahmad, good to see you. Marin, and then everybody else that's getting to us. Please do me a favor, like and share that we are on today. We're going to speak a lot of facts, klomp feite en somme, wat julle moet weet. Daai bomme moet maar bars, die waarheid moet maar uitkom. We have to put out the truth. And every Friday, I give you a couple of subjects that are the truth. And nothing else but the truth. Vandag, soos altyd op 'n Vrydag, as ek kan, gee ek vir julle die waarheid. En die waarheid wat ander mense bang maak en seer maak, moet uit, sodat ons weet waar ons is en ons weet waar ons staan. So ja, partymal klim ons van 'n Vrydag af saam met my 'n bietjie bomskok, a little bit of shell shock, maar it's all right. If our country knows what's going on, our country can prepare what to do when we know what's going on. Maar as hulle dit vir ons wegsteek, dan kan ons niks daaromtrent doen nie. En dit is die probleem met politici. This is the problem with modern day politics. They hide stuff because they're stealing stuff and we need to expose them. Dit is een ding van die UIM wat ons al besluit het, is ons sal die waarheid praat. Ons sal die mense in 'n groot fokus lig sit, sodat ons weet wat kom. En vandag is een van daai dae waar mense, baie jammer. Ja, is 'n Vrydag. Dis nie 'n blou Vrydag nie, maar knoppies, vingers, baie jammer. Ons is terug, né? Is ons terug? As jy terug is, kan almal net vir my so 'n ding stuur. If I'm back, if you can just send me this. Yeah, I am back. Right. 222 people, good morning. And very good to have you on my Straight Talk with Neil on a Friday at 10 o'clock. Eerstens wil ek net afskop met Afrikaans. En die mense wat my nou nie kan verstaan nie, ek is jammer, maar ek gaan net gou 'n bietjie my taal praat waaroor ek so trots is. En hierdie boodskap is nou vir die 44, kom ek sê 43 ander van julle, wat ook Afrikaans kan blykbaar verstaan en praat in hierdie donderse land. Nou, Madame Charlie Tron, Charlize Theron, almal het al vir jou boodskappe gemaak, almal het al vir jou TikToks gestuur, almal het al vir jou gesê jou ma se dingeling, ek sien daai brakpan uit, wat net oor die grens is van waar jy vandaan kom, Benoni nie. Hierdie is maar van jou, van ons, 'n baie duidelike boodskap. Charlize, die wêreld is nou omgekrap omdat jy 'n statistiek op 'n radio in Amerika gebruik het sonder om enigiets te dink. Maar dit verbaas my nie, want normaalweg moet jy maar 'n skrip hê. Ons vat nie aan jou talent nie. Daar was 'n tyd wat ons baie trots op jou was en is, omdat jy hoogtes bereik het in Hollywood. Maar dit lyk my jou hoogte wat jy nou bereik het, het jou deur die suurstofskerm oor 35.000 voet gedonder. Want daar is definitief drukking op jou brein. OK. Nou, ek was ook nie goed in wiskunde nie. Ek het maar wiskunde gelos in standaard 7 en ek is toe landbou toe. En die eerste dag in landbouklas moes ons skape tel, so ek was anyway die moer toe. Salisie, ek wil gou vir jou net as 'n ou oom, wil ek net vir jou sê, jy praat verskriklik twak. In hierdie land praat 8.3 miljoen mense daai taal daagliks. In 'n stadion waar jy nou al baie van hierdie TikToks gesien het, sing 70 tot 80.000 mense op 'n slag die stem. Nou ek gaan nie my hele dag op Charlietjie spandeer nie. Maar ek wil net vir jou sê, jy beter kom regmaak wat jy nou verkeerd gemaak het. Want jy het nou 'n spesifieke taal aangevat, jy het nie 'n spesifieke ras aangevat nie, Charlie. Charlize, Hetheron. Dis nie net blankes in hierdie land wat hierdie mooi, fantastiese geskiedkundige nuwe taal praat nie. Dit is oor al die rasse. Nou ek wil nou nie nonsens hoor vir die redes dat baie mense geforseer is in die ou dae om hierdie taal te praat nie. Ek gaan nou vir jou sê, om 'n taal te kan praat, dis 'n voorreg. As jy kan Duits en Italiaans en Frans en Russies en Xhosa en Engels en Afrikaans kan leer, moet jy hom leer. Dis 'n voorreg. Maar ek wil net gou vir jou sê, Charlie, jy moet nie vergeet van waar af jy kom nie. Jy moet nie vergeet van waar jou wortels lê nie. Jy moet nie vergeet van jou mense nie. En ek wil net vir jou 'n boodskap stuur, wat ook al jou laat doen het, wat jy nou bloody wel gedoen het. Vergifnis is daar. Ek glo in vergifnis, want ek het al baie myself daarvoor gevra. Nou vra hom. En miskien sal hierdie mense wat hierdie taal praat in Christus vir jou ook maar nou vergewe en jou op die lang pad sit. Nee, ek dink wat jy moet doen is, jy moet maar terugkom Suid-Afrika toe en 'n Afrikaanse movie maak oor ons taal. Miskien sal ons dan vir jou net kan vergewe, nee. So ons is nou klaar met daai. Ons is 'n groeiende, opbouende verskrikking van 'n taal. En hierdie taal sal ek dra tot my dood. Want dit is 'n lieflike, mooi, uitrollende, binne in jou poep en jors, waar jy hom kan uittrek en vir mense sê, as jy nie my taal eerbiedig nie, dan gaan ek jou donder. Daar, hoor net daar. Woe. So 'n mooi taal, né? Hè? Julius vlieg in jou moer. Woe. Nou as jy dit in Engels sê, Julius go to hell. Hoor gou. Julius go to hell. Julius vlieg in jou moer. Watter een Suid-Afrika, watter een klink vir jou? Of die ander ene, ja. Kies jy. I'm going to hit you if you do that again. As jy dit weer doen, dan gaan ek vir jou bliksem. Watter ene, die een klink asof jy my nou maar net gaan tik, en die ander ene, nee moenie. Ek sien jou nou. Wat beteken dit? Ek sien jou nou. Ons verstaan wat dit beteken. Ek sê jou nou. As jy vir iemand vra, Boetman, as jy okay, dan kyk hy jou so, dan sê hy vir jou, ja, nee. Jy sien, in Engels is dit yes, no. Weet jy nie, maar ons weet, as ek vir jou sê, ja, nee. Ons weet in Afrikaans, presies wat die hel jy sê. Braai, boerewors. Charlene, jy moet 'n bietjie boerewors weer kry. So dit is vir my 'n taal wat eksentriek is, dit is vir my 'n taal wat vloei, dit is vir my 'n taal wat eintlik iets kan beskryf, wat ek dink geen ander taal vir jou so iets kan verduidelik as dit nie. Ons is trots Afrikaans. Ons is trots boer met 'n B. En ons sal altyd die reg om hierdie taal te praat, om hierdie taal te skryf, sal ons eien as ons eie. En ons sal hom nog steeds versprei voor een God. Dit is ons belofte. So daar sê my opinie oor Charlize Theron, Troontjie, net my opinie, né? Now, South Africa, what we've got to do is today I'm going to speak to you about 4 matters very quickly. One is our state-owned enterprises, SOE. I'm talking about Denel, Sanral, Transnet, SAA, Portnet, etc. I'm going to talk to you about that. South Africa, ek wil vir julle vandag syfers gee, wat julle moet inneem, wat ek ingeneem het hierdie week met skok. I want to give you some hard facts. I want to thank Melissa. You know, Melissa works around me in the sense of supplying me and giving me info and assisting me. So Melissa, thank you for digging up this. Maar dis 'n trane trekker, hoor. I want to show you how absolutely terrible this African National Congress cabal government is in accounting, in fraud, corruption, wasteful expenditure, and the total destruction of our treasury and the income of our country. And I want you to take in the figures, South Africa. Julle moet hierdie syfers invat vandag, want dit is skokwekkend. Ek moes dit eers verteer. I had to first absorb it, because I couldn't understand how this country needs money when we are wasting so much money. Now the reason they're doing this, the reason why, is they are incompetent. Yes, they are. They are incompetent, and they do not understand 1 + 1. Simple as that. Now let me start with an amount. You get 1,000, you get 1,000,000, and then you get 1,000,000,000, and then you get 1,000,000,000,000. 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 en 1,000,000,000,000. 1,000,000,000 rand is 1,000,000,000,000 rand. R1 billion is 1,000 million. Mense, dit is 'n verskrikking van 'n bedrag as jy sê miljard. 1 billion. And we're saying it these days as if it's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Now that we can conceptualize what is 1 billion and 1 trillion, let me now tell you what we have. Here's what we have. The South African government has bailed out, not invested, not put in extra money so that they can grow an entity. We are talking about business rescue paid for by us, the taxpayer and government. Do you get it? They are bailing them out. They are not investing for growth. Here's the figures. In the past decade, this government has bailed out and thrown good money to bad business of state-owned companies to the value of more than 308 billion. Jy gehoor? Hierdie staat het 308 miljard rand in die modder gegooi op staatsmaatskappye. Laat dit insink. En nou nog werk dit nie. SAL, Denel, Transnet en die poskantoor het hierdie jaar SAA, Denel, Transnet and the post office asked this year for an extra 13 billion. Hulle het gevra vir 'n ekstra 13 miljard rand om hulle te red. Dis bo die ander. Dis skokkend. Denel, ons paie maat, ja, Sanral, Pothole Incorporated en Transnet het ook gevra vir 'n ekstra 30 biljoen, miljard, 30 miljard, 30 biljoen. So, SAA, Denel, Transnet en die paskantoor so 13 miljard ekstra, en Denel, Sanral en Transnet bo daai bedrag vra vir 'n verdere 30 miljard. Miljard, 1000 miljoen. Nou kom ek sê, the budget of South Africa, the total budget for 2022 and 2023, mense, hierdie goed moet julle weet, dit stel goed in perspektief, feitelik. Listen to me, this is important facts, bombshells, is your taxpayers' money. You're paying for this. The annual budget of this country, which this government spends, and still goes and borrows more, is 2.2 trillion. Ons jaarlikse begroting is net oor die 2 triljoen rand in hierdie land. En in 2025 gaan hy op van 2.2 na 2.5 triljoen. Waar gaan ons geld kry? Wel, ek weet waar. Ons leen dit. We just go and borrow it. Another trillion. We'll never pay it back. Not in my lifetime or your lifetime or your children's lifetime. Hoor gou hier. Daar's 22 miljoen geregistreerde belastingbetalers in Suid-Afrika, net 22 uit die 60 miljoen. Hulle sê dat hierdie jaar gaan ongeveer net 6 miljoen mense uit die 22 uit die 60 hulle income tax returns ingee, en hier kom die skok. Ek het dit nie geweet nie. Do you know, Chappie Papier, do you know that this country's people that actually carry the income tax out of 60 million, do you know how many people actually pay income tax? Out of 60 million. 1.6 million. Mense, Net 1.6 miljoen mense betaal inkomstebelasting in hierdie land en dra 60 miljoen. 1.6 million people are carrying the weight of income tax in this country. Shocking. Why is that shocking? I'll tell you why that's shocking. Because in 28 years since 1994, the ANC cabal government has not been able to increase the income tax payers to 3 million, to 5 million. And the reason that's not happened is because they can't. They don't know how. Can you understand this bombshell? 1.6 miljoen mense betaal die inkomstebelasting van 60 miljoen mense in hierdie land. Ons is effektief moertoe, want die ANC kan nie tel nie. Hulle kan nie, maar hulle kan steel. Dan kan hulle tel. This is in effect a country that has not moved in any way to a more inclusive, increased middle class mense. Dit is duidelik dat ons nie mense wat arm is, middelklas toe kan skuif nie, want om 'n arm mens middelklas toe te stuur, moet jy ekonomies kan dink. You have to be economically good in your thoughts. You have to create GDP, you have to create business, ek weet waarvan ek praat, you have to create a income of a investment potential for this country, and you've got to increase the job and business space. You've done none, ANC. Nothing. And no one in parliament, all the opposition parties and the ANC cabal, they are all guilty. Because instead of the DA and the EFF and the ANC and these EFF, if you have to sit there and you've got to think that the only thing you do, 400 of you every day for 28 years, is to steal, to take money, to slick money, to just get a pay and do points of order. You yourself have not grown the economy to rectify this country. And I'm sorry if you're not going to tell me, but the Western Cape and the Western Cape currently is part of the Republic of South Africa. You can't single it out. Stop saying you can run a country because you're running a province. Dis louter gemors. You've got to run a country with the bad and the good, and then we will tell you you're a good party. Hoor jy my? We're not dumb, man. See, stupid. We were born at night, not last night, okay? Listen to me. These are facts. These facts were drawn from the sheet of PricewaterhouseCoopers in their statements of doing analysis of the fiscal position of this country. Hierdie kom uit PwC se annale, geskrewe data, wat hulle op hierdie land gedoen het vir inkomste en verlies. Nou hoor my, Denel was een van die beste maatskappye in die wêreld vir wapentuig. Hoor my, they built the Ratel, they built the Buffel, they built the Red Falk helicopter. They were in huge advancement of African territorial vehicles. Ons het in ons daar die olifanttank gebou, ons het in ons daar Kaspers gebou, ons het geweet, nagsig, ja, I don't know if you know it, South Africa Denel in the 80s was one of the leading companies in the world to manufacture night vision. Did you know that? Chappie, did you know? They can't even pay the wages of the staff of Denel. They've ripped that Denel apart. There's nothing left. Kan nie eens 'n hubcap maak nie. We can't even produce a hubcap. Never even mine the tank. The only tank that they can build now is a tank where they steal diesel. Daai is die tank wat hulle kan bou. Sad. And now they want the extra 30 billion. For what? You chased away all the people that were engineering technical capable for design at Denel. Julle het hulle huis toe gejaag, julle het hulle afgedank, En nou sit julle en julle dink, what's next? Dit is verby. It's over. Transnet. Dis nie Transnet nie, dis Tranenet. Dis Tranenet. It's not Transnet, it's T-net. Hierdie Fikila, IV niks, klein ettertjie. Jammer vir daai woord. Jammer om Kali. Ek is hopeloos geskok, man. Ons spoorlyn is weg. Ons spoorstawe is weg. Ons paaie bestaan nie. Kyk vir die brand. Kyk vir die Vrystaat. Dis beter om met jou bakkie op die sypad te ry as wat jy op die pad moet ry. Daar is nie meer pad nie. Nou vra Sanral, Suid-Afrikaanse paaie organisasie, hulle vra vir nog geld. But they can't currently fix what they must. So, South Africa, when you look at what they did with SAA, né? In 10 years, 10 jaar, we, the South African taxpayer, gave SAA 16 billion rand. Billion. In die afgelope 10 jaar het jy en ek as belastingbetalers in die land 16 miljard, 1000 miljoen, 16.000 miljoen aan SAL gegee en nou het hulle SAL Kwanshuis verkoop. Mense, dit is ons geld. En ek wil nie in hierdie debat nou raak. I don't want to get into this debate about, do you know how many houses we could have built with 16 billion? Do you know how many school kids we could? Well, we have to. Do you know how many job opportunities we created and could have been created if you took 16 billion, you put it into entrepreneurs, into techies? Nie daai op jou voete nie. Die techies, die tegniese ouens, die IT manne. Can you imagine if we created a Silicon Valley, our own IT park, and we invested in IT? 16 billion. State-owned enterprises are gone. And it's time that we face it, because after 308 billion, we must now understand it's over, and I don't even want to get into Eskom. The billions and billions that we've had to put into Eskom, and we still, last night, got load shedding. So in conclusion, with SOEs, to run and manage a business, you must have had very much big experience in owning your own business, or being part of the management of another business. Here's the shocking revelation. I'm going to do a statistic, and I'm going to ask the people to help me to look at how many people that are currently sitting in Parliament have previously run, started, effectively made a business successful. I think we are going to get shocked of how many of them, the only business that they have been doing for 28 years is Parliament. Now, I don't know if you all know it, I come out of 22 years of a multiple of international businesses. Huge businesses. Financing businesses. Mining. Sport. I understand this game. I've lost businesses and I've gained businesses. South Africa is a business, South Africa. It's called SAPTY Limited, and next week I'll post you an article I wrote 2 years ago in IOL explaining and asking, how is SAPTY? Hoe gaan dit met Suid-Afrika PTY Limited? Ons is bankrot. Remember, the test of bankruptcy in any entity, after checking the liquidity, die liquiditeit van 'n maatskappy, is if you are trading a company where the liability exceeds the debt. and the asset, you're gone. Met ander woorde, as jou skuld groter is wat jy het, is jy bankrot. Now, in this country, there's a law about reckless trading and about directors, if you willfully and clearly trade a company that's bankrupt, you're guilty of a crime. I don't know if you know it. Ja, you are. In hierdie land, as jy 'n maatskappy bedryf wat tegnies bankrot is dit 'n kriminele oortreding. Nou wil ek gou vir julle 'n vraag vra. As Suid-Afrika 'n maatskappy was, en die direkteure was ons ministers in die kabinet en ons voorsitter was Cyril, en die aandeelhouers was 60 miljoen Suid-Afrikaners, hoe doen hierdie maatskappy op die oomblik? If South Africa was a company, the board of directors were the cabinet ministers and the chairman was our president Cyril Ramaphosa, and the shareholders of this company was you, the 60 million. How are we doing? How is this company doing? Well, ask yourself. Now, if you draw that similarity between SAPTY, SA Maatskappy, to a company, every 5 years, you the shareholder, jy die aandeelhouer, 60 million of us, maybe subtract all the Zimbabwean, Congolese, Nigerian, Mozambican, people that are not South African citizens, and to those that are in this country legally, welcome, and to you that are sitting here and you walked over a border illegally, julle moet weg. Weg. You got to get out of this country, because if the UIM was government, we would deport you en masse. I would take some of that 16 billion and fly and train and truck you out, because you don't and have no right to be here. Not xenophobia, net Suid-Afrikaans, hoor? Okay. So if you realistically look at how many real South Africans are in South Africa, every 5 years you choose a new board of directors. Ja, you do. Elke 5 jaar kies julle 'n nuwe direksie om hierdie SA maatskappy te bestuur vir 5 jaar. Jessou mense. Gaan julle wragtig weer in 2024 hierso staan en dieselfde direkteure en direksie kies? Dis malligheid. The problem, though, is that the majority of people that vote every 5 years the same management in the company have also no idea in the majority what they're voting for. They are illiterate. Bomme, né? Groot bomme vandag. Dis die waarheid. Dis die waarheid. Ons stem mense in wat ons reëneer. It must come time. Those figures, unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's the truth. South Africa, what's happening to us is that at the end of this year, I'm now going to talk to you quickly about the ANC. Cancer. C-A-N-C-E-R. It's the cancer of our country. I know cancer. It's a deadly thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a heartbreaking thing. And our country is suffering from cancer, and our tumors, the ANC, the SACP, COSATU, and the EFF, and any other cabal party that's hanging with those absolute terrible hyenas. So here's the truth. At the end of this year, 2022, the ANC has what they call the elective conference. South Africa, this is important. At the end of this year, the ANC will get together and elect their new leadership. They do that 2 years before the national elections in 2024. It's always like that. And at this conference at the end of this year, they choose ANC. And the top 6, in other words, the ANC has what they call the top 6, that is the executive, the management committee of the ANC, daar's 6 van hulle. And then they choose the 92 members of the NEC, their so-called National Executive Council. Do you get it? So you've got the president and 5 other people that form the top 6, and then the 90 member of the NEC. This happens at the end of this year. The people that are now being identified that are running for president of the ANC, whom if they run in 2024 elections, if they win, that will de facto become the president. De facto. Feitlik. That's what ek gesê het, né? De facto. Feitlik. Factually. Whomever becomes the president-elect of the ANC at this end-year conference of the ANC will stand as president of the country in 2024 in the elections. And if they win, he becomes the president. And the people that are currently running for president of the ANC is Cyril Ramaphosa, Suki Cyril, Kopdoek NDZ, Mevrou Inkosisana Zuma, Lindiwe Sisulu, hairstyle, and Mr. Mkhize, that was accused while he was Minister of Health of major fraud. Those are the top contenders. Now, where do we stand? It seems, in my opinion and my info, factually, that Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa will be re-elected again for a second term. And we're starting to already use this excuse of rather the devil we know. Vragtig, rarig, rather the devil we know still remains a devil. Pala, the scandals of Eskom when he was running the Joint Task Force on Energy, the current absolute craziness of COVID theft handled, the Zuma deputy presidency while he was there, is that rather the devil we know, near South Africa. So this is an important conference. If you are politically engaged and you care about this country, you better start knowing your enemy. KYE, né? Know your enemy. Don't sit there and just complain. Get involved. I'm involved. I look at this. I know the enemy. And this is going to be very interesting. Whatever the outcome is, but I know apparently it's going to be a hell of a fight. Hierdie gaan 'n groot geveg wees, want die hyenas in 'n trop wil mekaar byt, want hulle wil die vleis hê. Then on hate speech, and the person that we're obviously always following and trying to nail and trying to lock up is Mr. Jelly Tot Frikkie Malema Julius. Just an update, I think you deserve it. I would like to blatantly, blatant, I want to tell you what is our strategy as the UIM. You see, we think at the UIM, né? We don't just react. Julle dink ek haat Julius. Glad nie. You don't hate someone. I vehemently protest and disagree with a leader, so-called, in this country that professes hate speech no matter what the court says, and currently asks for the genocide and the killing of a specific race happening to be whites. I don't agree. Sorry. Now, if that is true, and it is, and we've got evidence to that, here's the tactic I came up with. Okay? Me. Now, let me tell you how it works. Clearly, everybody's trying to charge Malema. Hate speech, incitement of violence, and all that kind of stuff. And none is successful, not even assault or anything that he's done. No. So what did I decide with my executive about 3 weeks ago, in actual fact, 31 October, die 31ste Oktober, dis nou so 2 weke gelede, we decided, right or wrongly, that we are going to attack Mr. Malema at his place of work. Yes. Mr. Malema, as far as we know, has 2 main jobs that pays him, except for all the other stuff. He gets paid as the president of the EFF by the EFF, and he also gets paid as a member of parliament. Now, I've decided, and I think you will agree, we don't want him in parliament anymore. He's a disgrace, he's unethical, and he's a blatant, sporadic person that just causes division in this country. I don't want to see his face in my National Assembly. Ek wil hom nie in my parlement hê nie. So dus het ons besluit om al die ander goed te los as die UIM, and we are now charging him for breaking his oath of office, which he took as a member of parliament. That's the trick. You see, he can't get away with that because he has factually on video, on evidence, he's broken his oath of office as a member of parliament. What did he break? Well, when you become a member of the Republic of South Africa's parliament, you take an oath. And that oath, in it, when you raise your hand, it says that I, Julius Sello Malema, do hereby swear in front of an almighty God to protect, defend, and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Nou, Suid-Afrika het dit gebreek. Hy het dit uitmekaar uitgeskeer. Hy het sy eed verbreek. En ek het genoeg bewyse. Hy moet uit. They've got to discipline and charge him because that is what he's done. Simple. So what did we do? On the 31st of October, the UIM wrote a direct letter publicly. We published it to the Speaker of Parliament. We wrote it that I, Neil de Beer, and my NEC executive members hereby wish to request a meeting with the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the breaking of oath of MP who represents the Parliament of this country. That's our tactic, and that's what I'm storming for right now. Now I got a reply on the same day, acknowledging, and 2 weeks later, nothing. Now you would probably tell me the following: nothing's going to happen, you're wasting your time. No. This one, I'm not letting go. You hear me well? I will not let this go. I'm going to be a pit bull. Sorry for the animal. But the pit bull, as hy jou byt, hy los nie daai kake nie. So I wrote a letter again publicly yesterday. Friendly reminder to the Speaker, I'm waiting for my meeting. Now I don't care, come rain, shine, tornado, torpedo, tsunami, or storm. I will see the Speaker. Even if I have to go there and walk through the gates. But I'm not letting this go because he is guilty. And that's our tactic, okay? And I'm not going to walk away from it. Finally, South Africa, I just want to talk about a matter that I expressed myself, and I will finish with this, the opinion of the unisex toilets debate. I don't even know that I can't even understand why we have that debate. So I want to quickly just rationalize and then end this presentation for you on my Friday. Ek wil gou vir julle sê that the United Independent Movement on interviews, media interviews, television interviews, through our Vice President Fatima Abdul, and many messages through our SG's office, have decided that the UIM will not and ever support the matter of a now so-called unisex toilet at schools. Die unisex toilet debakel wat op hierdie oomblik aangaan, is onaanvaarbaar en word nie saam mee gestem deur die UIM nie. En daar's baie redes. Ons is duidelik dat ons die konstitusie en die regte van almal in hierdie land verdedig om te leef en laat leef. So if we're a party that protects the Constitution, there are two very clear points why the unisex toilet debate at school contravenes currently the Constitution of South Africa. And I would like to end off by giving you the facts, not rumor. Section 24A of the Constitution of this Republic says, and I read and quote, "Everyone has the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health and well-being." Health, well-being, and everyone has that right. And then the next one, which is important and probably the most, is Section 28(2) of the Constitution. I quote, "A child's best interests are of paramount importance in every matter concerning the child." Now, clearly, this debate cannot even start if you recognize those 2 points of protection of the minor and the child. Die minderjarige en die kind, hulle moet verdedig word ten alle koste. And that's as clear as what it is. South Africa, the schools today can't even handle bullying. They can't even destroy peer pressure. And they can't even stop violence at schools. We heard now of a child stabbing another child to death. And 2 days ago, another child stealing his family's gun and shooting a teacher dead in Durban. KZN. Now, if we can't even stop the bullying, the peer pressure, the violence, and the ill discipline that children have today, not all but most at school, then how do we even try to conceptualize a unisex toilet where we need to protect those people from that which we cannot? Okay. Fact. Bomskok. Klaar. Ons onderwysers is tans klaar in 'n oorlog betrokke van dissipline en bullying op skool, en nou wil jy vir 'n onderwyser wat 1 + 1 nog moet leer vir hulle moet onderrig, nou wil jy nog die unisex toilet op hulle ook sit. Suid-Afrika, die onderwysers in die land, is besig om te krak. Hulle is besig om te bewe. Hulle is besig om hierdie diens te verlaat. Jy moet aan die onderwysers dink aan hierdie land. Die onderwysers kan nie meer die bullying en die ongedissiplineerde varksgedrag op hierdie oomblik hanteer nie. Dissipline begin by die huis. Dit is nie die onderwyser se taak om jou kind maniere te leer nie, meneer, mevrou. Dis jou taak. It is your responsibility to teach your child manners and discipline at home. It's not the teacher's responsibility. The teacher must be able to tell you how do you dissect a frog, Philemamuba. They need to tell your child what is a cumulonimbus and nimbostratus cloud. They need to tell him the formula of pi, 22/7. Yeah. They can't still teach your child what is manners, but they have to. Ons moet die onderwysers ondersteun in die land, en daarom sal die UIM hierdie ding teengaan met alle mag wat ons kan, want ons kan nie dit ook nog toelaat nie. Dit is onkonstitusioneel, dit is onreg tot die kind, En dit maak nie enige sin in vandag se samelewing. En laaste, ter verdediging van die onderwysers. Ons stem nie saam nie. We don't agree. It doesn't mean that we are shedding our responsibility for the LGBTQ plus minus people in this country. Okay? Constitutionally, you are protected. And if the UIM protects the Constitution, we protect all rights within the Constitution. Jy sien, jy kan nie kies in die Constitusie waarvan jy hou en nie hou nie. Dit is soos om stuk uit die Bybel te haal wat jou pas, en nie vir die mense die hele hoofstuk te lees nie. It doesn't work, guys. We are totally 100% in protection. It's part of our 5 C's. Now, we can have a religious debate, or we can have a constitutional debate, or we can have a country debate. You know our stance on LGBTQ, you know our stance on abortion, you know our stance on faith, you know our stance on corruption, on crime, and the Constitution, the law. And in this matter, we are going to law, because that's what governs a disciplined society. So South Africa, that's my opinion. Thank you again for more than 500 people listening to me. I know it's long. I know it's sometimes arduous, but I give you the truth. I give you something to debate the weekend. Ek geef jou iets om oor te praat. Vandag het ons gepraat oor ons reg tot Afrikaans. Ons het gepraat oor die gemors in staat tesourier en in ons maatskappye, die SOE's wat nie meer bestaan nie. Ons het gepraat oor ou Juliusie wat ons mag op sy boude pak gee en unisex toilette wat taboe is. Baie dankie, ek waardeer julle. I thank you for listening to me. Go tell the people, go share this video, inform them where we stand. And then this weekend, now as I sit here, when I say goodbye, I'm on my way to a beautiful part of our country, a little bit of a road trip with Melissa and Arnold and the family. We're on our way to Mossel Bay, George, Hartenbos, mooi plekke. So if you are in the area of Mossel Bay, Hartenbos, George, I'm going to do a couple of talks, I know, on Saturday, maar ons gaan 'n bietjie daar rond wees, net plakkies in Kortbroek. If you are there, why don't you just let us know on this Facebook, send us a message, tell us where you are. Ek sal baie graag drukkie en handskit wil gee as julle in die Mossel Bay, George, Hartenbos area is. Ek is daar vir die naweek en sien uit om 'n bietjie Kortbroek en plakkie uit te pluk en op 'n paar hande te skit en dan as julle my sien daar in George Mall of in 'n plek, 'n restaurant, kom sê net hallo. Ek is baie lief vir daai mense in die Suid-Kaap en Cherise, sy kan nie ophou nie. Cherise is so, ek sê vanoggend vir Melissa, is asof Cherise elke dag 6 liter Lucas uitdrink. Cherise is so opgewonde om 'n bietjie tyd met ons te spandeer. So, asseblief, laat my weet, sê vir ons as jy daar is, tell us where you are. You might see us there just to say hello. God bless you today. Bring God's hands of absolute internal peace and protection over our country. Mag die Here se seën, sy hand van absolute beveiliging en seëning oor jou familie en hierdie land wees. Onthou Suid-Afrika, nommer 1, maar God altyd eerste, né? Remember, South Africa number 1, but God always first. Lief vir julle, kyk na julle self, volgende Vrydag, weer die waarheid, weer waar ons staan, en kom ons bid maar vir ou Charlie, né? Ons bid vir Shalisie, dat sy daarom verstaan in Afrikaans. Seënwense. Goodbye.